Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to repair a hole on the shoulder seam of a regular polycotton t-shirt. So I'm just winding the bobbin here in the colour thread that I'm going to be using on the t-shirt. I'm using the same colour thread through the top and the bottom, so it's going to be the same top thread as it is the bobbin thread, but I just needed to wind a bobbin as I didn't have the colour in this shade of blue. I feel like this shade of blue is the closest shade to the colour of the t-shirt, so I'm literally just winding it down to the empty spool, just because I feel like when you get to this point, why not? You may as well use up all of the thread that's left on the spool. And I'm just using the Gutterman polycotton thread. I think it's one of the best brands you can buy, to be honest. And I'm just popping that bobbin case in, and then I'm just threading the needle thread with the same, but this is just a new spool, so I'm just finding the end, unraveling it, and then I'm following it through the stages of winding it up in terms of putting it through all of the parts that you need to get it through the whole machine, and then it just goes through the needle, as you can see. So this t-shirt is quite worn, that you're going to see in the sense of the rip. It's like on the shoulder seam, and it can happen for like many different reasons basically, but I just wanted to show you like how to repair it, because it's quite common in clothing. It can be like wear and tear, washing, all sorts of different reasons, so I thought it'd be quite useful to show you. So start off with the t-shirt with the right side out, so that's the hole, that's the one that's going to be repairing today. So it's literally just in line where the stitching is, so it's ideal just to sew that up, and then you can just wear it as normal. So I've just turned it inside out because I want the wrong side facing and the right sides facing together on the inside, so then you can pin it in line in accordance to where the hole and then the rest of the seam is. So you just want to align the fabric together just to get a nice, neat, straight edge, and you want to get it as close as you possibly can to like where the hole is, so it's in a continuous line. But of course you do want to close that hole, so you want to lift the fabric up to close that hole, but not taking in an excess, if that makes sense. And then I just pin a line of where the two sides of the fabric is, and then I get some pins and I turn them the opposite way to the way that I've just pinned now, just because it shows you where the starting point is and then where the ending point is, so then you know where to start and stop when you're sewing. So I'm just gonna start off by using a basic straight stitch. So this setting is on 0 on the Benina 1008, and I just like to hold those threads at the back of the sewing machine. But before I do so, take the pin out, the first one, take the second one out so no needle goes across it, hold the threads at the back to get some nice tension, and then you just want to back tack where you start, and then you want to sew all the way down to that pin. That's your sign to stop, and then once you stop there, you back tack as well, just to secure and to finish that stitch line. And then once you've done that, you want to remove it from the sewing machine. So lift up your needle, so all the threads in a nice order, and then you just trim those edges, and then you just want to cut the loose threads off, because you just don't want them in the way for the next step. You just want it to be nice and clean and just an easy process to work to. So remove those loose threads before you go any further, and then you want to change the setting to number 2, which is the zigzag stitch. As you can see, the straight line is sewn, which is the original and the first line of stitching to hold that hole in place. But now you want to secure it better, and you want to add additional strength, and then also allow some flexibility in there as well, which the zigzag stitch is going to do. So change it to number 2, as I said, on that dial. So you've gone from a straight stitch to a zigzag stitch. You want to back tack as normal, sew all the way down along that seam line to where the first row of stitching stops, back tack again. And then you want to lift the presser foot up, lift the needle up, pull the fabric to the side, cut it, and then you want to trim those threads off as well, just because you don't need them and you may as well just have a nice clean finish. So once you've done that, you have done the main part of the repair. The hole is secure, it is closed, and hopefully it won't happen again. But as you can see, the stitching is in alignment with the previous row of stitches, which is the original stitch where that hole occurred. So as you can see, it might be a bit difficult to see, sorry, because my phone quality camera is not great, but as you can see here, it kind of blends in with the original stitching, which is what you want. Obviously this shade of blue is not perfect, but it's close enough. So you want to turn it inside out, so it's right sides facing on the outside. Give it a good shake, just if there's any like loose threads or anything like that. And then you just want to look at it from the way that the client is going to see it, or if it's your t-shirt or whoever's in the way the person's going to see it who's wearing it. So then you can see that the line is nice and neat, and it just looks like the original stitch, to be honest, which looks like the original shoulder seam. So then once you finish your sewing, you just want to iron it, you just want to press it. So it is finished, it looks neat, looks professional. So this setting, I did start with the lowest setting on my iron, just because you want to go in lower with the heat and then turn it up accordingly in alignment with the guidelines that is on the clothing label inside of the t-shirt. But I know this is poly cotton, so it is a blend of cotton and polyester, which is a blend of a natural material, natural fibre, and a man-made material. So you just want to be cautious with that heat, to start off low, and then if you feel like you need to increase it, you can increase it in like a quarter increments, just to make sure that you're not blasting the material and you're not going to burn it, or you're not going to make any marks. But you just, yeah, work your way around the t-shirt. And on the front of the t-shirt, there is obviously some vinyl logos, which obviously does say the brand. So to protect that, what you can do is you can use like parchment paper, baking paper, transfer heat-proof paper, just something that is going to protect that vinyl, because obviously vinyl, it is plastic at the end of the day. So you just don't want it under like direct heat if you can avoid it. So I ironed as normal, but then when you get to the stage where you can see that logo, you just want to put the paper over the top and then just use the iron on top of it. And this area is on the shoulder, but it catches the logo in. So I just wanted to be sure that I wasn't going to like burn or potentially burn or lift or damage that logo at all with the vinyl. So as you can see, you just want to place it where you need to and then go over it. It can be a bit slippy on top of the item of clothing, so just bear that in mind and just be a bit careful when you are ironing. But you just want to press that seam really nice and flat. So this is the one that I repaired, so you just want to make sure that it's all sitting really nice, basically. So you can go over a few areas if you need to, or if you feel like you want a crisper finished look, or you want it to be a bit more pressed or steamed. You can use a steamer for this if you want to, but my steamer does take a while to heat up, and it requires quite a lot of water, so I didn't think that was necessary, as this was the only repair for today. So I just went over that front bit again, and you can just do so until you're happy with the finish, really. But I'm just using an ironing board as well, and just the corner of that ironing board, it just helps to get the t-shirt over, and you can use it in the armholes, the neck hole, or you can see you putting it over. But this is the t-shirt, nice and finished. So this is it, just hung up, and this is the seam that I repaired. So as you can see, I personally think it looks brand new. You can't really tell at all that there was a hole there before this. And yeah, it's all finished. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope this video helps.